Alright, hello guys, and today we're here with Apocrypha, Chapter 5. As you can see, Yukime here is the boss, demon Yukime. And of course we have her story right there of how she transformed into a demon. Now, in the last chapter, Chapter 4, the Shadowed One, Yukime had went missing, and this story will tell us how that proceeded. So yeah, let's dig in. Now, Elizabeth is just normal how she is. She's wanting a haven. I have to be with everybody. She's pretty much like, it's like when she tasted blood and wiped out everybody. And then yeah, this time the Diablo's power took her over and made her go berserk again. And during this little encounter with Yukime, she'll do something to her. Just one attack from Elizabeth. Yeah, that one attack from Elizabeth started to make this Yukime turn into a demon by using the Diablo's power. Yeah, now Yukime is pretty much just feeling an instant version of demonic symptoms. And then that's when the others come to rescue Yukime. And only to end up figuring out that she's now her, well, you know, it's slave or something, her servant. And Mary is here in this timeline as well. And here's Elizabeth still on a rampage from earlier when she got infiltrated by Diablos. The team is probably on her way. Weave. 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 That's just being a selfish shade again. Typical selfish Etta. Watch how she'll switch up fast when she hears about money. Which is kind of crazy since, well, Etta just got slapped out of her doing on it. Everyone just took over, pretty much saying, nah, I ain't doing it. And Alexa Bane. And it looks like providing the explanation here that finally turns on Ita. And she goes back to shouting, of course. And then just like takes a deep breath and then unleashes true power. Even a 1 year difference still doesn't gap. Well, Elizabeth herself is under a power up at the moment, so it would make sense. But then, it could still just be a plot thing for Elizabeth to still be stronger, even with a 1,000 year difference. And then pretty much here comes Elizabeth's servant from earlier, that one blood spear. Blah blah blah. Not everybody needs to speak like Demon Clear. Yeah, and that one blood spear that Elizabeth threw at Yukime, that also helped to make her. That also helped to make Yukime Elizabeth's servant. LMAO. Using the power of Diabolos. Using the power of Diabolos, which we got from the Queen. It's pretty cocky, Yukime. I know she's talking like a Jiren. Oh, brother. No wonder why you're a bomber. Like, transformed, you're a bomber. Yukime, sorry, but transformed, you're a bomber. I'm calling Elizabeth your queen as well. Yeah, I love this guy. I know, Elizabeth mourning over here. Meanwhile, she's controlled by Diabolos. So yeah, and it turns out that Yukime was all talk and no fight because, well, pretty much after that, we didn't care about Yukime for pretty much the rest of the chapter. And I don't think we saw her in chapter 6 either. But anyway, then we had some peaceful moments, I guess, and some deaths here and there. That ends up getting solved in chapter 6, I believe. And for now, we end up having to strategize a plan because in the beginning of the chapter, Alpha was feeling pretty tired and dreamed about this scene right here where it looks like Beta is stabbing Epsilon, Demon Beta. So it's almost as if he and Beta. So from the looks of it right here, without knowing much, it would just look like Beta turned back to her berserk self and took out Epsilon. But when we see that same picture down here again, we get to learn more about it. And it's pretty much a plan, really. And actually, the thing is, the plan was made by Epsilon herself, and it's to make her transform into a demon, as you can see here. So yeah, no offense, Epsilon, but you did pretty much do this for yourself. But me personally, I honor the sacrifice and the plan you made. Yeah, let's dig in. to rewriting time because we lost the Getsukuyon for like the 4th time now.
よかった。また戻ってこられた。だけど、こんなこと。いいえ。必ずこのループを抜け出してみせる。これは私にしかできないこと。やり遂げるわ。
Well, Alpha is pretty much just the main character of Apocrypha after all. Only she can do this, especially being in her goddess outfit. Goddess Apocrypha outfit.
激強の状況を伝えます。その上で対策を練りましょう。激強の状況？そうよ。時間が惜しいわ。聞いて。待ってくれ、アルファ。嫌な予感がするから確認。お前は今、何周目だ？激強に負けて戻ってきて、これで4周目になるわね。そんなに？そうか。だけど、勝ち目が、そしてそのために、ベータ。
And this is where the plan starts to unfold to turn Epsilon into a demon by applying pressure to Epsilon and pretty much just making it look like Beta is better. Which, if you then figure out it, Beta better than Epsilon. If you get it, you get it, you know.
相談があるの。2人だけで話。それからイプシロン。はい。これより、イプシロン隊の指揮権はすべてベータに移行。
Hasn't been told you're supposed to listen to your rival. And pretty much losing your power.
あなたには失望したと言っているのよ。
Your disappointment. Your disappointment to the lineage Epsilon. That's like that. That must be a critical hit from Alpha. Like literally. Just imagine Epsilon. That's literally like a critical hit for her.
まさか。
And then but Alpha doesn't stop there. She goes even further.
アルファ様。話す必要はないわ。いいからベータの指示に従いなさい。
Pushing the pressure even further on Epsilon.
アルファさん、前のループで何があったかは分かりませんが、きっとイプシロンさん、アルファ様。
I'm pretty much just dismissing everyone else. This is all part of the plan. Everybody, be gone! Alpha keeps locking those critical hits at Epsilon. Building pressure.
結局、あの後展開、アルファがループを経て手に何か考えがある。だけどアルファは、皆の前でイプシロンを解雇す。彼女が前のループで、もしかしたら本当に、あるいは。アルファさんのことを。はい。ですが、今は考えても少なくとも、このループはですけれど。ではこれより、私の指揮に従ってください。所詮はイプシロン。そこで、我々も前に出て、敵の先陣を。いえ、私たちは城壁にこもり、防衛に。それは。イプシロンに許可は得ています。
Yes, it's alright, Rose. Now stop being cocky and doubting better.
口答えをするのは、それはそうです。これは指揮権を委任された。承知いたしました。はい。いつまで拗ねているつもりですか？
And Beta talking to Epsilon as if Epsilon's starting to be like Eta.
別に、そんなのきっと私は。そうです。私たちの力にはもう期待せずに。そんなこと。
However,
一人だから。
the plan, what Beta is saying right here, so, is not actually what Alpha plans to do, but rather what Epsilon plans to do. Well, of course, in this specific moment right here, Beta can't say that Epsilon will be the one to transform, as that pretty much just like spoils the secret, ruins the plan, that type of energy. So instead, Beta has to use Alpha. We already know Alpha is coming in like chapter 7 or so. Though she did flash in chapter 6.
ですが、でも、くどいですよ。
Stop nagging. Pretty much just telling Epsilon to shut up and adding more pressure.
そもそも、こんなことに。
Adding more pressure to plan. For the plan to succeed in turning Epsilon into a demon. Pretty much by applying pressure and throwing a ton of insults, they plan to turn Epsilon into a demon.
待ってください、イプシロン様。何ですって？イプシロン様の精鋭部隊が改装しました。救援を出す必要はありません。ただ城壁の近くまで戻れたら回収するように。よろしいのですね。イプシロンは仮にも7日放っておいても、それよりも城壁への承知いたしました。聞こえていたな666。はい。順調ですね。
As you can see, even Beta knows it's just a plan. And the thing is, the plan was developed by Epsilon herself in a previous loop, so no, I don't hate Epsilon, nor does anybody here hate Epsilon. It's just a part of the plan. Using emotions to turn Epsilon into a demon.
シチカゲたるあの方々、それよりも、はい、シチカゲはその信頼を、覚悟を。生きてる？なんとか5分よ。時間分かった。はずが、おい、ベータを疑いたくはないけど、いや、もしかしたら悔しい。
I know Epsilon is just swirling in despair.
私はそのアルファ様に見限られるほどの失態。そろそろベータ。
Collapses.
もう足腰も立たないんですか？
Imagine being called pathetic by your rival.
無理しないでください。
It's a futile. It's a futile.
偽物にはこれが限界なんだと。
Ain't no way. Beta just wants the final nail in the coffin. The literal final nail in the coffin here, calling Epsilon a fake. Now, if we know anything about the relationship between Epsilon and Beta, then yeah, that's where Epsilon hits her breaking point.
誰が偽物？
As you can see, the music changes, the scene changes, the plan has succeeded, and Epsilon has turned into a demon.
あなたは敵ですか？それとも。
So yeah, I do still feel bad for Epsilon, even though it was just a plan by her own self, so it was needed, as that's how using being a demon tag team right here, they finally managed to beat Kikutsuyan over here. So yeah, imagine if that did happen, where we got a demon tag team of Epsilon and Beta. It would be kind of crazy in my opinion, as we already have the original, and then we saw them from a tag team in Apocrypha. But of course, if Epsilon just feels like she wants to be her, I guess, spamming dual unit, she could. They could just form a demonic version of this dual Epsilon Eta, so it would pretty much just be Demon Epsilon and Demon Eta. That would be kind of crazy, but I mean, Epsilon does have a lot of duels so far, so yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for this video. Here's the Demon Yukime illustration. And of course, I'll show you the Demon Epsilon one as well. Here's the Demon Epsilon one. So if you did summon that green Shadow Garden banner, I hope you got Demon Epsilon at least, since luckily I did. She also has an alternate art, but I don't have that. So yeah, that's pretty much will be it for this video. And I'll see ya in the next one. Later.